Hey guys, welcome to What Where's Watchin', the series where I go over whatever show, movie, comic, manga, game, whatever it is I'm currently taking in. I discuss my thoughts on it, and I let you know whether or not you should watch it and why. So this week I'll be talking about JoJo Part 2. And I have to say, this was so good. Like seriously, I mean it. It was amazing. I was hooked the whole time. I would say that it's definitely better than part one. And that's, kind of a big deal since I really liked part one. And I have to say it's a lot goofier. The humor definitely evolved between parts one and two. There's a couple jokes that don't land perfectly, but overall, I laughed quite a bit. And most of that has to do with Joseph Joestar. So he's a more interesting main character. He is definitely not Jonathan Joestar, but he is JoJo, which is kind of cool. I like the idea that, the main character is a different guy every time, but it's always JoJo. Instead of being a perfect hero like Jonathan was, he's a goofball. And he's also kind of selfish, and he lies all the time. He lies a lot, and he's also not afraid of cheating, which is really funny because he's so distinctly different than, the righteous moral hero that Jonathan was. He still has a heart of gold, though, and you still definitely root for him the whole time because he's a very likable character. Another thing that they sort of updated is the backstory. It's a lot more intricate than it was before. They really try to tie different bits and pieces of the world together with Lisa and the Pillar Men and all that. I will say it's also equally as moving as the first part. There were parts in this that were just as emotional. Another thing they really stepped up was Ripple. They have a lot more creative uses for it. They can stick to things. They can focus it into their fingertips or into their feet. They can run it through strings and wire so they can set like these really elaborate traps. And that's a really good combination with a main character who's super cunning and he likes to plan a lot. I also really love JoJo's catchphrase of "next, you'll say." It was so funny at first, but then later on, it was legitimately exciting when he said that in a fight because you're like, oh, it's coming to a head now. That's cool. And speaking of like the action and the fights, there are higher stakes in this part. The Pillar Men are a lot stronger than Dio was in part one. The world that they take place in is bigger. It's the same Earth, but like they travel all over. They go to Mexico. I think they're in Germany at one part. They go to like Sweden, I think, and then there's like a volcano island. It's really cool how big the world is. The bad guys, they get cooler powers, and they were all unique. So I like how they take real biology and just push it to crazy extremes instead of using strictly supernatural or magic abilities as superpowers. And I gotta say, I never thought I'd be excited for a Nazi to show up. That was kind of funny. Cars, he's about as much of a bastard as Dio. I think I've decided that. I love the ending. I thought it was really clever. It was funny. And it was, it was good. It was just a good ending. No spoilers, but it definitely stayed true to this JoJo's character. You could really tell that this whole series sort of evolved from a traditional epic and more into a modern story, and I appreciated that change in how it happened. As soon as you started episode 1 of part 2, it's like, all right, this is different, this is new. I also like the teaser at the end for part 3. I'm excited for that, and I'm definitely going to watch it. So I would say you should definitely give JoJo part 2 a watch once you finish part 1. It's funnier, smarter, more creative, more action-packed, and overall, it's just a ton of fun. I've been Beware. This is What Where's Watchin'. Stay frosty.
Listen